Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, formerly known as Mr. Jack and 000, back with Automation the Car Company Tycoon game, and what you're seeing right now is one of my latest builds called the Kaze Alkaline GT-C. This two-seater fastback made by the fictional Swiss car company Kaze Motors is their most powerful alkaline ever made. This car was made with a combination of performance and luxury across all trim levels. While building this car, it's got an excellent interior with labeled cruise control buttons on the steering wheel, including some attention to detail to make it more aesthetically pleasing. I know you see in the title and thumbnail that it's supercharged despite the game not having them just yet. Wait for version 5.0 to kick in and we'll get those superchargers. But anyways, I'll explain that later on in the video on how I made it supercharged. It has a lap time of 1 minute 34 seconds 93 milliseconds at the quote-unquote Top Gear test track, and 2 minutes 35 seconds 94 milliseconds at the automation track. It has a top speed of 129 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 in 9.19 seconds. This vehicle uses the real-life Tritec engine, a 1.6-liter inline-4 engine that produces 106.7 horsepower and 109.2 pounds-feet of torque. It has a fuel efficiency rating of 27 miles per gallon and weighs 2,241.7 pounds or 1,016.8 kilograms. And for the market, it dominates in all the top 4 sports car markets with ease, both the light and regular sports markets, no matter if it's the budget or premium models. In terms of how I made the Alkaline, the panel material will be made out of regular steel with a monocoque chassis made out of AHS steel, with a front transverse engine placement, and the front suspension uses a double wishbone, and rear suspension uses a semi-trailing arm. For the engine, we'll keep this in mind, this is all naturally aspirated. It's an inline-4 engine made out of cast iron with the bore set to 77mm and a stroke at 85.8mm to get the engine size to 1,598 cubic centimeters or just under 1.6 liters, with single overhead cam 4 valves made out of aluminum. For the crankshaft, it's made out of forged steel with the con rods at lightweight forged and the pistons at regular forged. Pretty much everything is just forged with this engine. For the compression, it is set at its real-life naturally aspirated setting to a 10.5, which is above normal but below a high setting, and the cam profile is set a little bit up to a 44. And going over to the forced inductor just to verify, it's naturally aspirated no matter what, but I did some file editing to make it supercharged, which I'll explain at once I get to BeamNG.drive, which is probably the 4 or 5 minute mark depending on this video. So heading over to the fuel system, we got ourselves a multi-point EFI single throttle per cylinder with a performance intake running on premium fuel, with the fuel mixer set to a 14.0. The ignition timing bumped it up quite a bit to a 65, and the RPM limit set to 6,800 RPM. For the headers, all this good stuff, we got ourselves some tubular headers with a single exhaust, with the exhaust diameter set to 44.4 millimeters, which is around 1.75 inches. And also, forgot to mention, it uses bypass valves to increase the power of this here vehicle. And we got ourselves a high flow 3-way catalytic converter, a straight through first muffler, and a reverse flow second muffler to really reduce the sound coming out of this engine to make it more quiet and not so ear rapey. For the drive type, we got ourselves a front-wheel drive of a manual 5-speed with the top speed set to 130.6 miles per hour, which I will edit this top speed, which I did edit to around 140 miles per hour in BeamNG.drive. And we got ourselves a vicious LSD because it's okay, not the best, and it'll pretty much just do with this vehicle. Even though it's not the best LSD, but with this type of car, good enough. Kind of like the Nissan 300 series, like the 350 and I think the 70 and I don't know about the 400. So for the tires, all this good stuff, we got ourselves some radial medium compound tires with the front tire width set to 195 millimeters and the rear at 215 millimeters, running on some 16-inch alloy rims. For the brakes, we got some beefy ones here. We got ourselves a Venedis 2 piston with its size set to 270 millimeters, and the rear is a solid disc single piston with its size set to 240 millimeters, and drop the pad type down to a 40 to make it more lean towards the comfort setting. Under tray, like always, semi-clad under tray, which you can see here, it's just not even placed whatsoever, but man just got an under tray. Semi-clad, up the brake roller a little bit, but who cares about that? So for the interior of this vehicle, as you can see with this interior, just by looking at the design and everything, took me a few days, and I'm kind of happy with how it turned out to be. Even though I'm not the best interior designer of the game, I'm not like those people that take weeks or months to build one, but who cares about that? As you can see here, 2 seats in the front, well, only in the front, And the interior setting is at a Sport with a premium CD player. As you can see here, we got ourselves a pimped out CD player and a sound system by our boy Who's, not Bose, Who's. We're doing some like Chinese knockoff type of stuff over here. For the safety and everything, got ourselves a variable hydraulic power steering with traction control and ABS brakes and 1990 standard safety standards. And last but not least, with the suspension of the vehicle, got ourselves some progressive springs with adaptive dampers and semi-active sway bars running on a Sport preset. Despite only 5 problems that I see on here, such as rear dampers being so hard, brake force being too high, rear tires being so wide, front of the engine we have some clearance issues, let's go to BeamNG.drive and show you how I made it supercharged and test the vehicle out. So here we are at the bottom map of Suzuka Raceway, a map that you can download online, which I'll provide the link in the description below. So take a brief look at this vehicle and I'll show you how I made it supercharged. So with the exterior of the vehicle, all this good stuff, I try to give it some of that Chrysler Cirrus type of vibe, especially the rear of the vehicle with the lighting placement, where you got these brake lights here, your main brake lights on the top, and hopefully this works, kind of works. The indicators at the bottom of the brake lights, followed by a reverse light, as you see right here. Barely see it. So pretty much the exterior didn't take a whole lot for me to design and all that good stuff. Pretty much all original styling with the exterior, all that good stuff, and oh boy, we got ourselves some texture issues with the front Kaze badge. How will that look with the interior, which I'll go over that a little bit later, and also like with Supercharged, because oh boy, I got a grammar mistake. Hold on. Supercharged on the right and I just noticed that we got ourselves supercharged on the left, but the right of the vehicle, the hood scoop, supercharged. So interior-wise, steering wheel, oh boy, yep. It's messed up with the textures, all that good stuff, including the wood grain of the steering wheel, some of the needle lights, all this good stuff, and the CD player, oh boy. It was pretty much a waste doing all this stuff, god damn it. But if they would have had all the textures, all this good stuff, I kind of like the interior, even though, like I said, I'm not the best with the interior design, but I do like it overall. Instead of like having no interior or have a boring interior, that's pretty much good enough right there. Seems realistic, but not over the top realistic. And with the Supercharger, which I'll go to the vehicle config, you can get the escape button and hit the little gear right here, or just hit Control W. I did follow up a video of twin turbos tutorial on how to install a supercharger on an automation vehicle. He has provided the file for this, including the specific code for the automation engine to read the supercharger that's in the vehicle's file. So if you do all that stuff as you follow in the tutorial, which I'll provide that video on the card system in the top right of the screen, is that you expand the automation exported engine. It says car engine, expand this, and you got forced induction. And click on Supercharger, and with the power graph it's already set, you will see NA and SC. NA for naturally aspirated, SC for supercharger. And as I rev it up here, which is rev it up all the way, supercharger at 142 horsepower, naturally aspirated at 103 horsepower, so about 40 horsepower gain to the supercharger, and max boost around 6.8 PSI. And if you go to the tuning setup, which I'll make it realistic, you got the gear ratio, which pretty much affects the sound of the supercharger, and the pressure really increases the boost right here to an extremely high amount to the point where you're building a dragster or something. So if I set to gear ratio 3, I'll let you hear the supercharger right about now. And not only that, the power rating of the supercharger, almost around 275 or 245, sorry. So rev it up. Nice. But anyways, let's start off with our basic performance tests right now. So here I am backed up way at the final straightaway of this here racetrack, and I did tune the supercharger a little bit to get a power output of around 185 horsepower. So for our basic performance test, the first we're doing is a 0 to 62 acceleration test, followed by a 62 to 0 brake test, and lastly a top speed run, which I guarantee with this modded supercharged engine, it'll probably reach its top speed with a higher power rating of around, like I said, 185 horsepower. It should reach it without any problems. Hope so. So anyways, start with the acceleration test of this vehicle. Now, hit the gas, and got that ECS kicking in, or traction control I meant. I'm just reading ECS because I think it's ECS, but it's not. So 0 to 62 in 7.03 seconds at 361.37 feet. About a 2-second difference between a naturally aspirated and this version. So let me get the brake test going. Now, hard on the brakes, skating on the brakes with ABS, so a time of 2 minutes 90 seconds of 122.42 feet. We got some of that skidding, but I wasn't a big fan at the time and distance, but I think the reason why it's probably skidding is because these brakes are a tad too strong for this type of vehicle. That's what I'm thinking. So for our top speed run, it is now in effect. Let's start back there, which I've already started back there, and head out to the last straightaway. 0 to 62, even better, 6.9 seconds is pretty nice, of 342.08 feet. So we gain about a tenth of a second right there. That's not too bad. Top speed wise, 110. Running on a road here, 120. And like that, 130. Wait, I thought I did improve the top speed. So anyways, top speed has been reached. It's a pass. I thought it was going to be 140, but I think I screwed up somewheres. Get a slow motion crash going at this here wall at around 107 miles an hour. Find a better camera angle. Let's do right here. 100 times slow-mo, go. 100 times slow-mo in effect. Do 100 all the way. So 100 right there. There goes the front tire. So the polygon's going crazy. Hazards are going off because impact detected stopping car. The lights are flexing outward. The license plate's trying to escape, but it can't. And it gets pretty much about to crash, so let's go to 16, get the back end going, and full time. And like that, we're flipping over, and still flipping over, and still flipping over, oh my goodness, and back on our 3 wheels, good. So we got 8 tire bisting, yes we do. Oh my god, look at the front of the vehicle. So the front of the vehicle has been pretty much mashed in and mashed outwards and crinkled in pretty good. So anyways, hazards going off because impact detected stopping car. Are the headlights still working? Oh my god, I got the light I got up in here. And not only that, the engine still runs for some odd reason. I don't know why, don't question me about that, but it still runs. We're missing pretty much all the back lights, and you got this light here that has turned into like a brake reverse light combo for some odd reason. Kind of interesting. But anyways, that is it with this here vehicle. And let's also do a hot lap run. If I were to go to a time trial run, like if I go to time trial, it will spawn up the naturally aspirated version, which I will not do for the sake of this video. It's supercharged all the way at this here track. So I'm gonna line up and start the hot lap off. So here we are at the podium position of the start and finish line of this here grid, and we got the checkpoint effect, and we were doing 3 laps of this here hot lap, and then taking out sublayers to end its misery like in every automation of BeamNG.drive video. And not only that, I do have a pimped out new interface here called Endurance HUD, which has been recently released in the BeamNG repository. If you search up Endurance HUD, you'll see pretty much something like this, where you got the vehicle model name and the file name right below it, including the weight in kilograms and pounds too. But anyways, let's rightfully ignore that and get ready to start off our here time trial off, or custom time trial, in 3, 2, 1, 4,000 launch, go. And goddamn it, trash control for ruining my day. So time's going off, 0 to 62 in almost a 7 seconds even, 362, almost 363 feet. So in our first corner, go right here and kind of bitched out right there. So got some of that moderate understeer, even though these are some medium weight, medium compound tires. Not the best, not the greatest, but it'll do with this type of vehicle. I should put some like 215s in the front, maybe like 235s in the back for extra grip and all this good stuff and extra cornering ability, but it'll do for now, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be too much of a liability on this here track. So look at understeering. 0.9 G's of steering in that corner, and I think I'm about to go to realistic because I hate how this thing's downshifting. It's like every time you let off the throttle, it just downshifts, and then upshifts, the downshifts, upshifts, the downshifts. Like sometimes I kind of hate BeamNG's like shifting mechanics on here. Like it just sabotages you and pretty much ruins your time trial, ruins your day when it does that. Into this here corner, and really on the brakes, and not too bad on that braking right there. And this corner here, you're going on the 3rd gear. Not bad. Could have went a little bit faster, but not too bad. Not bad at all. And in this corner, coming up around 12 PSI on the Supercharger, hard on the brakes. Go to 2nd gear, maybe the 1st gear. Yes, 1st gear. And wow, it caps up around 33 miles an hour. And the brakes overshot this damn corner. Well, damn it. It's pretty much trial and error, learning about the vehicle, all this good stuff. And not only that, I can see the red line of the little HUD on the left side of the screen here. Look at the left side, 6,000, 60, and I'm just staring at, I'm not staring at the speed, I'm staring at this on the left side of my screen, it's Endurance HUD. I'll let that carry the way rather than the bottom right speedometer, including the turbocharger, or the Supercharger I meant. I'm pretty much used to automation turbochargers. And look at that understeering. 80 miles an hour, 90, exceeded track limits. If this has been Formula 1, my lap time would have been invalidated. And brake, one more here. Chicane, let's run. Screw this. No, I'll use this chicane, I meant. let's use this chicane instead. We'll pretty much change it up and just use that, like, final chicane out there onto that corner. So, first lap time is a 2 minutes, I think 56 second. Yes, 2 minutes, 56 seconds, 281 milliseconds. Okay, I gotta hand it to you. If this car would have been using sports compound tires, this would probably grip the track a little bit well, especially going into these corners here. So on that, used quite a lot of the curb there. I should have braked a little bit more there, but stupid me. I am stupid. Just carry on. All right, try not to screw this turn up here again. Brake. Yes, yes, dive down in the corner, get on the apex and the racing line. Some lag right there and some panic shifting more into this corner and continue down this here road. And I really kind of like this endurance HUD here. On the left side of the screen, I got the top speed of the vehicle of 132 miles an hour, 212.4 kilometers per hour, temperature 100 degrees of oil, 90 degrees Celsius, that's in Celsius, of water, brake, a little bit on the brakes, downshift. It wouldn't let me downshift to the point where I'm engine braking a little bit. And let's see here, start braking. Now into the final chicane again. God damn it. Corner cut and go. Start by penalty. I thought I had it there, but it didn't. I don't really race on that last chicane. Normally, it's the first chicane is where you just turn right and go left and go straight. So second lap time is a 2 minutes, 48 seconds, 388 milliseconds, around 8 seconds better than the first one. I'm pretty much riding third gear all the way until I reach somewhere over here in the fourth gear. It's like those little corners back there, those sweeping corners. I'm pretty much staying in third gear all the way. It was useless just to shift to fourth gear. If you were to shift to fourth gear, you're pretty much wasting time, wasting all the good stuff, just upshifting and then downshifting and even wasting precious time of this here lap right here. And what's even more interesting, with the total distance traveled, we're around 8.7 miles in now, 14 kilometers right here, and brake again, brake way early yet again in this damn corner. Use all that, go tight, and go out, and continue on driving. And fuel economy, this shows 37.5, oh, that's counting down. So we got 37.5 liters and dropping of fuel out of 55 liters of fuel. So we're using 118... I was distracted. That's my excuse. So we're using 116-ish per 100 kilometers, or around 2 miles per gallon of fuel economy. That is horrible. And not only that, we have never damaged this car even once. No torsion damage or torsion bar damage or beam damage. None of that whatsoever. So get on the top here and get ready to brake at this marker. Brake, dive a little. Perfect. A little bit too slow, but perfect. Now let's brake right here. Brake, brake, brake. A little bit of here. And brake again. And corner. To corner. Not too bad. Went way too early in the first gear. So coming up to the final straightaway here, and it seems like we're going to be doing a better lap time. Maybe better, maybe worse. I don't know. So it's going to be very close here. 2 minutes and 2 minutes, 48 seconds, 730 milliseconds. A tad worse in the second lap, so we're good enough there. Crash one more time. Let's do more head-on. Drift, full time, everything as is. And like that, radiator is leaking, hazards going off because impact detected, stopping car like always. Let's stop the timer. Fourth lap in a record best of 16 seconds, 701 milliseconds. Put me in the freaking Gran Turismo Olympics right here for 2020. The 2020 Olympics over here in Tokyo, but whatever. So damage-wise, rear is clean, rear spoiler is also clean. Can't rip this off for some odd reason. The sides of the vehicle, we got this here pillar is dipping down quite a bit with the front of the vehicle here. The front-wise... yeah. And it's also skidding on its own right here. It's moving on its frickin' own for some reason with all this damage. Kind of weird. And we got some loose polygons. This tire raised up quite a bit up here. So it's clear out with the endurance HUD and Hotlap feature and take you down somewheres by going to a special place at Brutal Slope to see if a supercharger will remain goated in automation to BeamNG videos. So here we are at the top of Brutal Slope 2.0. Let's get ready to skateboard ourselves down the top of the hill. And not only that, I did max out the supercharger, max out the boost, max out the gear ratios, and we're putting out 60 pounds of boost. Oh my god, at around 530, 540. All right, right here, 538.75 horsepower. Dead, and I don't know about torque. I wasn't paying attention. So speed-wise, going hella fast, 240 and 250. Top speed 251, exit speed at around 200 miles an hour. And we are flying big time here. Engine is dead. Front end looks okay. Undercarriage looks okay. Everything about this car. Okay, get ready to slow this down. The 2 times and wait for it. Pause. So 16 times. Once we get to the bottom, set that up to 16 times. OU to hide the UI and go. Here's the car. Dead. Damn, that's a brutal for that crash. There goes all the pieces. The license plate lighting for the brake lights. That's the mirror. More stuff, more debris. The front splitter, which barely does any downforce in BeamNG, but it does numbers and automation, kind of like your Twitter meme. This is doing numbers, so full time it all the way. Back tires are okay. Front tires are not doing so okay. We're skidding out. There goes all the parts coming back to me and going past me. So with this here vehicle, dead, big time dead up in here. You got the front end almost flattened, but these 2 pieces are poking upward. Got some loose polygons here. The suspension completely compromised, including the brakes, suspension, axles, all that good stuff for the front of the vehicle. And the rear reflectors are kind of glitched out here. How about the front? Are they on there or still glitched out? I don't know if it's because of the collision or what. Alright, so last part of the video, let's skateboard ourselves down the top of this here hill and get ourselves wedged at a little wedge block here, which is basically a square block where you get an interesting wedge-shaped look of your vehicle. And the power again, 540, brake horsepower, torque, 425 pounds-feet of torque. That's an interesting engine blow. More ear-rapey than just like that. And not only that, we're producing 0 horsepower at negative 9.18 pounds-feet of torque. That's kind of interesting. 251 right now. Let's do the interesting camera angle. Wedge yourselves in right here and slow this way down to 16 and get ready for 100 times. Hide the UI, and here we go. Collision. Right now, there goes the front, there goes the interior, and there goes almost all the vehicle, good 80% of it. So you got the tires almost freely moving up in here. I think it's been fully detached. I think this tire is still attached. It's kind of interesting. Looks like it's 100 times or full time out of 100 times. So there is a bunch of smoke here. Is the brakes fading? Yeah, brakes fading. Okay. And not only that, hazards going off because impact detector stopping. Even the, is this the side indicator? Hold on, let me salvage the wreckage. Oh no, this is the front indicator. I thought that was the side indicator, like the reflector, but no, it's the indicator, the front of the vehicle. I've been mistaken, so drop this off down here. Look at the aftermath of destruction. So look at this goddamn vehicle. You're pretty much dead wherever you look at this vehicle. Look at the front of it. You pretty much can't even recognize what type of vehicle this is. What now? Can't even recognize it whatsoever. The sides, well, pretty much like you see with the front, still unrecognizable. It's still a car, but you can't tell what car it is. The rear is facing upward at vehicular heaven, just pretty much thinking about what the hell I've done to this type of vehicle. Like if I look downward, you probably would see like the manufacturer, all that good stuff, like all the way down here. That is interesting. So that'll do it with this here vehicle. So that is it. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the Kaze Alkaline GT-C. In terms of design of this vehicle, I really like how it came out to be, especially with the interior and everything, but except by goddamn grammar mistake with the Supercharged engine, which that's pretty much stupid B-ball design this vehicle, but despite some texture losses, especially with the front logo, even the reflectors too, that is very, very interesting. And interior-wise, same thing, missing textures with virtually like 60-70% of the interior, which kind of sucks to be honest with you, but anyways, not too worried about it, but it's still a vehicle that's supercharged and super powerful. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. And also check out my social media, which are listed down in the description below. So this is TRIZE rising up and signing out.